What makes a car a cult classic? Is it because it will have an immense amount of power? Is it because it handles really, really well? Or is it because it has a lot of accolades pinned to its name? Well, the car that I have today has all the above, and it is indeed stuff of legends. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the most mundane looking 3-box saloon that really behaves like stink. This is the Subaru WRX STI. Let's go for a drive. There is no denying that this car has quite a reputation about it, and it's all good. Currently in its 4th generation, this Japanese hero has been around since 1992, and in that time, it has been driven by all the greats like Ari Vatanen, Carlos Sainz, Richard Burns, Peter Solberg, Tommi Mäkinen, Ken Block, and the late, great Colin McRae. So, thoroughly enjoyable car. However, people are commenting about the way it looks. Let's take a closer look, shall we? Right here, there are 4 things that you need to talk about when we're discussing the design of the car. Number 1, it is back to the regular 3-box saloon, which is a departure from the hatchback, which was so controversial in the last WRX STI. Secondly, you've got the classic blue, but not the classic gold rims of the STIs of yore. Number 3, we are back to the original 1st generation design language where the lights go that way and you've got 2 lights in tandem of each other in front. It brings you back memories of the 1st generation of the Subaru Impreza WRX STI. And number 4, yes, it still looks bang. Look at the size of this thing. But you know what? I don't care because it fits the part and it looks great nonetheless. What about the inside? Come here. Now this is not quite the interior of a car, but this is a time machine. You know why? Because once you do this, you are back in 1995. Yes guys, the interior is completely dated. It looks exactly like what it would in a car dating back to 1992, 93, 94, 95 in the 1st generation of the Impreza WRX STIs. It's so simple. You've got a center column and you've got the steering rack and feel good steering, I have to add, and then the dials, everything just makes you think that this car has not progressed, considering that, you know, a lot of the other cars in this price range has gone leaps and bounds in creating something new, a new user experience for the driver as well as the passengers inside. But nonetheless, it's a straightforward car. You've got, you know, the materials that you expect to get. The seats are very supportive. You've got beautiful seats, and you've got, well, the only part which is modern is that little screen there with all the information that you will need, but the controls are hidden in between the 2 aircon vents, so it's not groundbreaking at all. But what we're hoping is that even though the interior is not groundbreaking, the drive is going to be groundbreaking. Let's go. Well, what do you know? It's starting to rain and I have not even a bit of worry driving this car in this condition. You know why? Because this is a truly proven, tested rally champion, and I'm pretty sure it can handle a little bit of rain. Now, this car is just completely mechanical, and it is truly godsend if you love driving aggressively, and aggressively is the only word I could think of to describe how you might want to drive this car, because it's so raw, it's so machine, that driving it, you know, in a vanilla way is just not going to cut it. You've got to drive it like you want to, and it is just so very, very rewarding if you were to, you know, enjoy that kind of flick, and it tells you when you need to shift up. The power is delivered to you with so much gusto that you would really truly enjoy every single second of it. You can choose from 3 driving modes via this knob over here. The power is in your left hand. You can either choose intelligent, which is push down, and that's the most vanilla way driving mode that you can choose. However, it's not quite boring lah. You know, it's just a slightly more polite way of telling you, hey, you've got all this power. Turn left and you've got sport. Turn right, you've got sport sharp. And you pair that sport sharp up with the deactivation of the traction control, and you can also choose how you want your central diff to behave. You've got either auto plus, auto minus, or you can go the full manual shebang. And really, the car just goes, and the power delivery, it's not quite delivered to you, and not so much so as it is shoved down your throat. It is just that engaging, it's that urgent in the way it behaves. Now, of course, this car comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox, which has been totally reworked from the last generation. It's much smoother, it's more precise, and it is a doddle to work. And also, of course, the WRX STI comes with the symmetrical all-wheel drive, and you will never ever find yourself in a situation where you feel like you don't have enough power. Power is always there, and more importantly, grip is abundant in this car. The word understeer, just to me, in the last couple of days I've driven this car, it just does not exist. There's no way that you can understeer. Oversteer is easily correctable, and it just goes exactly where you want it to go. It is so focused and so intense that I feel that this car is one of the most engaging cars we've ever driven in this series, and all for good measure as well. What I feel when I'm driving this car is I feel like I'm driving a built for track sort of machine, and in fact it really is. The engine actually makes so much power for a light chassis like this. It just feels like the power is just limitless. The 2.5-litre boxer engine, which is of course a hallmark of Subaru, pushes out 296 brake horsepower, 300 PS, and about 400 plus Newton meters of torque. And it's just so much power, and it's just, you feel like no matter what gear you're in, there's always more and more and more power for you to tap into. So what is it that Ari Vatanen, Richard Birds, Peter Solberg, Carlos Sainz, and the legendary Colin McRae had in common? Yes, you're right, they all at one point drove legendary Subaru rally cars. Rally cars that really won so many accolades, it is now known as a cult car, regardless of the generation. Now, of course, our favorite Ken Block vehicle of choice is also yet another WRX STI. Now, what does this mean to you and I? It means that we have an opportunity to own a vehicle that comes with chapters and chapters and chapters of history pinned to it, and we love this car all for it. The WRX STI Subaru is indeed a fantastic vehicle. That's it, folks. Thanks for staying with us. Next week, the Japanese tries to conquer the compact exec sedan market, Infiniti Q50. See you then.